Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you this morning by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest in studio this morning is Curt Homann, Executive Director of the DeWitt County Development Council. Curt, always good to see you, sir. How are you this morning?
Thank you, and doing great.
Good to hear.
Good to see you.
Yeah, thanks for making time for us as always. Good to have you back on the program. And I tell you what, I know we were catching up before we got started here this morning. Just one thing that weighed on you is you wanted to give a bit of a history on the DCDC, and I don't know how far back you want to go, if you want to go back to the origins, or, I know things really picked up around COVID time, and, major investments started to be made by DCDC around then. How far back do you want to go on this?
Well, we can go all the way back. So DCDC, the structure, DCDC is a non-for-profit organization. It's outside of any government entities. It's an entity all by itself. However, we do have representation from the city of Clinton, the city of Farmer City, the county, and from business owners. And so that's our board makeup. It was formed, I believe, and I believe the city of Clinton used to do their own economic development work. It got expensive, and they were looking for a way to share some of those costs. So it became a county-wide program, and that opened up, some potential for some more funding. And in essence, that's how it began. Again, approximately 20 years ago. Wow. So I actually was on the original committee that formed DCDC. That was a 2 to 3 year process. A lot of discussion, a lot of work, a lot of great people that worked on that to put that together. But I don't have the exact year, but we are at 19 or 20. We're right in there.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. Well, and I would say, and I don't know, all the way back to the origins, what it looked like in the early stages, but just watching it in the, 13, 15 years I've been in Clinton now. I would say, and I know you mentioned this off the air, around COVID time, it really picked up in terms of, I know there was a big push with like a matching dollar opportunity with State Farm, which led to grant opportunities and has since led to investment from cities and the county and all those things. How about that?
Yeah. So that's correct. So, COVID was a challenging time, obviously, for businesses. DCDC recognized that, and that's actually when we started our micro grant awards. So during COVID at 2020, we realized businesses really needed any assistance that they could get. So we decided that's one way we would get some real cash in the hands of our local businesses. So yes, that was a big push. DCDC's operated, we originally hired a full-time director, had an office space downtown as well. And so it's operated in many different forms over the years. So after the full-time director left, we operated just on a volunteer basis for a while, and then we've had some part-time people, and I originally started theoretically on a part-time level as a director, but I was working full-time, so that that changed to full-time not all that long ago, but yeah, so it's happened in various forms over the years, but the mission has always been to support local business, help keep businesses here, and obviously help bring in new business. Those are kind of the missions in a nutshell.
Yeah, and you brought up a good point about the kind of brick and mortar location right on the square. That was a great spot for a long time. Is that something you would like to see DCDC get back to, or is that just a cost that is not necessary, I guess, for the council?
Yeah, I absolutely would not like to see that again. So, I'll throw this out there. Our budget now is less than it was 20 years ago. And a portion of that is because we don't have a brick and mortar location. We don't have utilities, rent, utilities, all of those things that go into brick and mortar. So
Mhm.
what we were spending on a building, we were not able to spend on programs, to assist businesses. So
Mm.
absolutely, by and large, I would not want a brick and mortar building.
Yeah.
Now, we're very thankful to the DeWitt County Farm Bureau
Mhm.
that does allow us some office space
Mhm.
that they essentially give us, and then we use the boardroom for our meetings there as well. So
Sure.
very, very thankful to them, because that is an extreme benefit that really goes directly to businesses for sure.
So in essence, the DCDC shifted from a model of a location to come in and do business to, instead of using those dollars for that purpose, repurposing those dollars to invest in local businesses.
Yeah, so we in essence reduced the cost of operations.
Mhm.
So we the funds that we need are less
Mhm.
now, so it's impacting everyone that contributes, and the amount of direct support we're able to give to businesses is greater.
Sure.
And the benefit, I don't think we're losing anything. We're using technology where we're using my feet, my phone, those
Mhm.
other types of things, where our contacts are still being made. People know how to get a hold of us. We go out and see. I go out and see people all the time.
Mhm.
So the benefit is we're not waiting. If someone wanted to come in to meet us, they know how to get a hold of us.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Curt Homann, Executive Director of the DeWitt County Development Council, our guest on the in the studio this morning. One of the things I felt was somewhat of a turning point for the DCDC is that it just felt like it lacked the ability to gain momentum. And then in what was that, 18, 19, there came about the State Farm opportunity where they were going to match money raised by the DCDC and pour that into the organization. I
Yeah.
felt like that was a real turning point for them.
Well,
or for you all.
it really was. It was a time. We have to think about what happened before that. It was discussion that the nuclear power plant facility would close.
Mm-hmm.
That made county, city governments nervous about funding or passing on additional funding.
Sure.
So we really needed to look to outside sources. There was a real possibility that the organization ceased to exist in any real form.
Was going to fold. Yeah.
We might have kept a basic shell together, but State Farm reached out actually and said, we don't want that to happen. We think economic development offices are a critical part of communities. And they offered some funds. They were matching funds, so we did raise funds to receive the maximum match. And I believe it was, I think State Farm contributed $75,000 over a 3-year period,
Mm-hmm.
and which meant we raised $75,000 locally during that period as well. So it was a critical time, for sure. And we were thankful that State Farm did reach out. It was actually through State Farm Bank, believe it or not.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we're really thankful for that.
Mm-hmm.
But the turning point, certainly during COVID, we recognized that the businesses were especially struggling. Again, so we started a microgrant program. During that time, we've probably issued $150,000 or more into the hands of county businesses, small businesses, to help expand their businesses. That's pretty substantial. We have a loan program as well that was funded from the U.S. Department of Agriculture. It comes with some requirements that go along with it, but we've probably lent out $250,000 to $300,000 in total, of which obviously that gets paid back, and we can relend it out over the time that's been in existence. So we look at 400,000 to 500,000 plus of direct financial impact that DCDC has been able to provide to the small businesses within the county.
And do you track the impact of that investment even after it goes to that small business?
Well, we try. We have reporting requirements to the USDA in terms of jobs. That's the one. I think that was their focus for what that money would do. So we do track the amount of jobs that were either retained or created from those loans.
Sure.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Well, on that note, Curt, I guess give us kind of a present day assessment of the health of the DCDC, its impact, how you think things are going.
Yeah. So, present day, we look at, I took this particular role. Of course, I've been involved with DCDC for, essentially 20 years. But I took this role on about 3 to 4 years ago. And in that time, we've seen a lot of really, really positive impacts. We've added, in just recent years, obviously we were a big factor in Quick Wall locating here in Clinton and bringing a lot of jobs. In fact, they had planned to be here on the show this morning, and they had something come up last minute and weren't able to. So hopefully we can get them on next month. They can talk a little bit about that as well. We've had, Meyer Utility Structures come into town. And I really want to share, Meyer brings up a good point. Their initial reach out was to the city of Clinton, Tony at the city. And Tony reached out to me, reached out to, the county as well. Meyer's actually outside of city limits, but inside, of course, DeWitt County. And so, that really showed, we got a team together. We sat down with them and we got that moving forward. But that really shows the impact and the importance of a team working together to positively impact economic activity in DeWitt County. And that's the biggest thing I think I've done, is been able to help create a team and people working in the same direction,
pulling in the same direction. Sure.
But at Longview Bank, even probably 3 years ago, we were on the list, and they asked some communities to give some go to a board meeting and really pitch your community. So I did that. They built a bank here, so there's a whole lot of direct impacts, and these are major ones, and we look at some minor ones. There's some some businesses that we assisted, whether through grants or loans or just advice, just recommendations, just keeping them moving forward in their business planning, that are here today that likely wouldn't be otherwise.
Really?
So yeah.
And those are stories you probably can't tell, because of confidentiality.
In many cases we do offer confidentiality in most cases, but I'm always proud, when I see those businesses doing well or thriving or even struggling. I'm proud that A, that they're open, and B, that there is a path, there's a path forward.
Yeah,
for sure.
Sure. Very good. Well, on that note, Curt, I'll tell you what, let's take a break, come back and maybe get an update on some of the ventures you're working on and things happening within DCDC. In the meantime, how do folks keep up with DCDC these days? Yeah,
obviously listen here on WHOW. That's always a great monthly resource. We do occasionally post some things on Facebook. We do a website, but always the best thing with any questions, reach out to me, 217-935-5271.
Very good. Curt Homann, Executive Director of the DeWitt County Development Council, my guest in studio this morning. More to come with Curt on the WHOW Morning Show.
WHOW. AgriTalk is the radio talk show for American agriculture. Hi, everybody. I'm Chip Flory, your host. We join you weekday mornings from 10 until 11 on WHOW, on AM and FM, and on the WHOW streams. We provide farmers and ranchers with timely insights and information aimed at improving their operations. Join me, Chip Flory, weekdays at 10:06 on Central Illinois Ag Station, WHOW.
Baum Chevrolet Buick offers full transportation options while giving you peace of mind. This is Scott Baum from Baum Chevrolet Buick here in Clinton. This is what we do every day. We listen to you, give you options for routine maintenance, major mechanical problems, or collision repairs with a staff that's knowledgeable to find the best option for you. Baum Chevrolet Buick, your full-service dealer. See us at baumchevybuick.com right from the start.
MR Systems Wireless is your local internet provider for Clinton and surrounding area. They have the products you want and the local service you deserve. MR Systems Wireless Internet service for home or business includes unlimited data, unlimited streaming, and unlimited calling. Plans start at just $48 a month and get a free Roku 4 lease with our media packages. Get the speed you need with MR Systems Wireless. Call them at 935-2100. That's 935-2100 for MR Systems Wireless.
Don't let a summer sniffle turn into a summer setback. Warner Hospital's walk-in clinic has you covered. No appointment necessary. Just walk in and be seen by our caring medical team. Warner Hospital Walk-in Clinic, right here when you need us.
DeWittDailyNews.com is the area's leading local news source 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the latest local news, obituaries, police blotter, weather forecast, and more with no paywall. Head to DeWittDailyNews.com to get the local information you need to know.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Once again, a good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest in studio this morning is Curt Homann, Executive Director of the DeWitt County Development Council. Curt, I know the grocery store in Farmer City continues to plug along. That has been a long, ongoing process. Real kudos to the folks over there just sticking with this, because it's really a grassroots thing that's taking place there.
Yeah, it's actually probably longer than you think. I actually organized an event. It was specific for folks under the age of 40.
Yeah.
The idea was
I remember this, 2020, 2021 maybe?
Yeah, somewhere in that range. Yeah. But it was essentially, if you want to attract younger families to your community, you need to ask them what they want. There was a couple things that came out of it. One was more daycare options, and the second was a grocery option. And of course, this was specific to Farmer City, and the grocery option really stuck. And now we're gonna, there'll be a co-op grocery store opening around the end of the year. So it's been a real great effort on community members and folks keeping that progress moving. Western Illinois University came in early on and provided some framework, that has been effective, and that group followed that, and they're getting ready actually to bid the outside work of the building, and then it'll be on to the inside work, and again their time frame is to have the building ready to be opened at the end of the year.
Really?
Say the first of the year.
Wow, it's a full 5 months, but that's a lot of things to do in 5 months.
For sure. Yeah, there definitely is a lot still to do, and it's hard to imagine that, but they're pretty focused on that time frame.
Well, good,
so
good.
Yeah.
And I know 2026 they've really enjoyed some good momentum, right? I mean, if from what I remember you telling me earlier in the year, they kind of started this, what is it? You order a bag of groceries. You don't know exactly what you're getting, but you pick it up and there's all sorts of goodies in there, right?
Yes, and that because the building is being demoed now, that program isn't going on at this moment.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
But yes, there was the city of Farmer City is kicked in some funds to help support that. There's some grants that have been awarded for the grocery as well. So there's definitely a momentum along those lines. But that was one way to get people a taste of what the grocery store might have down the road.
Sure.
And that was a semi-popular program. The challenge was nobody knew what that food was going to be.
Yeah, sure.
So it was, you really had to wait for it to get there, and it supplemented your shopping list.
I don't know if this is how it played out, but I picture, families or parents or, community members, outside wherever the pickup area is, and they're going through it, and, oh, I got this, I don't like it. And somebody's like, oh, I got this, I don't like it. They trade, swap goodies or whatever. So,
maybe. And there was
like the lunch table at school type of thing.
There was always something in there that, I'd never really ever used to cook with ever, so you had to go online and like, what can I do with this? And it actually was fun. I looked at it as very, very fun because it was
Sure.
it allowed me to try things I'd never tried before, cook in ways I hadn't cooked before. But unfortunately, with the building being in the state that it's in and getting ready for reconstruction, that program just there was no way to do that program.
Yeah,
So,
that makes sense. That
yeah.
makes sense. And we were talking before we came back on here in the break, really, like I said at the top, kudos to the people that just continue to plug away at that, because like I said, it is truly a grassroots effort, and it's it's one of those things, like it's not a funded program where someone is dedicated to just
Correct.
running it.
That's
Community members have had to make this thing just continue on.
For sure. And and from DCDC's my perspective is that group gets frustrated at times, and you step in sometimes with motivation, or you step in with, hey, I'll run your meeting tonight. Let's just keep things moving forward.
Right.
And so it's really going to solve a real need for Farmer City. And also it's going to solve one of the things that people under the age of 40 said that they wanted. So it's going to make the town more attractive. Anchor State Bank, located in Farmer City, as a direct result of the fact that grocery store was going to open in downtown Farmer City. So there's already been additional financial impact,
wow,
from those things. And
Sure.
it's just momentum. You mentioned that word earlier. Momentum is just so incredibly important. And right now we have momentum.
Yep. Got to keep it up, right?
We certainly do.
It's a lot of work to do that. Kurt, how do folks follow along all things DCDC?
Yeah, follow us on Facebook. Listen here every month. Reach out anytime, 217-935-5271.
Very good. Curt Homann, Executive Director of the DeWitt County Development Council. Our guest, Network News, comes your way now.